Hi, Nancy with the toll. So Gypsy Rose and Hurricane Katrina are colliding in my TikTok feed. What is happening? Okay, so Gypsy and Dee Dee got caught up in Hurricane Katrina and were shipped to the Ozarks, Aurora, Missouri, right? And then made it to Springfield. Springfield is where I live, this area. And I was in the newsroom. I was a news anchor, breaking and investigative news reporter, a storm chaser for 20 years. So as far as the Dee Dee thing goes, and the Gypsy thing goes, we had interactions with them through the station. And I followed that case, right? From the second that Gypsy went missing all the way up to Nicholas's trial and the sentencing and all this stuff. Okay, so that's been exploding, and we've been talking about that and telling a few stories. Hurricane Katrina, also living in the Ozarks and being a reporter, going and talking to the people who were shipped here, that was my assignment. And it was crazy. Like, these people are traumatized, absolutely traumatized. And they're on buses being brought to Springfield, Missouri, and just taken to this place called the Remington Building. I think it used to be like a bar, and then a church bought it. And anyways, just this huge like warehouse building where they're being sorted and processed and all the things. So I was going up to them and talking and asking them their story. And my sister's like, have you seen all this Hurricane Katrina stuff? Like the documentaries that are coming out and the stories. And I said, yes, I'm very aware of it. And she was like, I just remember you calling me, and just for days you were just crying and crying because these people had such awful stories, like the lady who was swimming in the water and pushing dead bodies out of the way. And I was like, oh yeah, I'd kind of forgotten about that. I remember there was a couple of very young girls, like in their 20s, and they were telling me this story, and they were just in hysterics. And they were like, we were in the waters, and we were trying to swim for our lives, and there was a dead that went floating by them. And I believed them. Like, they were traumatized. You know, there's no vetting these stories, or, you know, it's just seeing the looks on their faces. And so for a few days I was going back to this Remington building and talking to these people who were being bussed in, and that was terrible. But I'm like, in what world does Gypsy Rose and Hurricane Katrina collide? Here it is, I guess. So weird. So weird. Anyway, thanks for sharing the toll. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you. Bye.